Are they able to get the money? Is there capital availability for these suppliers for what they want to do? What's that looking like?
I think there's capital out there. I mean, if you look at, we just talked about the lenders, and I think every lender in this room would stand up and say, "I'm in the market. I'm ready to lend, man. Come see me." And so there are.
Is that happening out there? Yeah. And when you go see them, they really do have the money to lend? Okay.
These are the lenders that are shaking their head yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the issue, though, is you still have a bunch of suppliers that their story's still a little strained, even for some of the lenders. And then when you get into the growth side. But I think the lending market's open. It's not like everybody can get the financing they need, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was. The capital markets are clearly open, and I think the good news is auto is no longer a four-letter word. Everybody's willing to come into the market. Excuse me. So, you've got a good opportunity in the lending market. I think you also have private equity coming into the market more aggressively today than you have recently. And that's going to provide some help into the supply base as well.
And from an M&A standpoint, you got private equity there. How's that?
I think we are seeing a lot more activity. It was slow to start, primarily, I think, because as the market came around and profits went up and volumes went up, the entrepreneurs got a little bit zealous in what they thought their companies were worth, and the private equity backed away a little bit. I think as we've stabilized out now, that expectation's gotten a little easier. And so we're going to see more deals out there. I mean, we do, for a couple of our customers, we do a study of private equity to try and identify, for them, which are the private equity firms with the white hats versus the ones with the black hats. And many of the people in this room in 2006, 7, and 8 saw the ones with the black hats and saw how that didn't work in the auto sector. The interesting thing to note, which always surprises people, is there's 131 private equity firms today that have active investments in the automotive sector. Now, most people would say, wow, I thought it was 6 or 10 or 20. There's 131 of them, we track them, that have active investments, and a lot of them more than one. So private equity is a player in the market. I think because of some of the problems we had in 06, 7, and 8, there's a resistance on the OEMs and the tier ones to get involved with a private equity. I think what we're able to show that there are some private equity firms out there that have a pretty good model, that they have a long-term hold. They're willing to build the company and create value. They're not looking to strip and flip. And, so you got to know which ones to go after. But there's some good players out there that are good partners in this deal. You want to stay away from some. I argue with some of my customers and clients that, given the choice of private equity or a second generation, a lot of the times private equity may be a better answer, because second generation, I'm a firm believer that the entrepreneurial gene is a generation skipping gene. And we've seen a lot of there's a lot of good stories out there of next generations, but there's a lot of failures. So, the key is, would I rather have somebody that's got money to invest behind it, or, just the same name? I'm not sure. I think you got to really weigh the perspective that's out there as to which is the better play to make in private equity. But I think you're also seeing entrepreneurs, at least the smart ones, some of them that are saying, here's an opportunity for me. I got to give up a little bit of equity in my company, but I can take some cash off the table, especially if I'm getting close to retirement. I can take some cash off the table, and I can get my growth capital to help me meet the needs and deal through the consolidation without having to leverage up all my personal assets. And so some of the players are seeing this as an opportunity, and I think rightfully so. So I think private equity is something that's going to be a strong play going forward, and is today.